CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
BC Hydro workers and emergency crews had their hands full this morning after two unrelated accidents in SAANICH that knocked out power just minutes apart. The first happened at about 8 o'clock this morning. A transformer malfunctioned, knocking out the traffic lights at Falaise Drive and Royal Oak. Then about 15 minutes later, power lines came down on a tree at Shelburne and Churchill, and that set it on fire.
When we arrived, the tree was on fire. One of the branches contacted a primary wire. Our first response is to just ensure that no one is close to the wires, so we cordoned off the area and controlled traffic.
The road to Montague Park was blocked off until the fire was out and the electrical hazard had been cleared. No one was injured in either incident. Well, if your holiday travel plans take you to the interior or northern BC, keep this in mind. Winter weather is already making road conditions treacherous throughout the interior and the northern part of the province. Conditions through mountain passes are especially bad, with heavy snow following earlier in the season than expected. If you're planning to travel by road over the holidays, you can check the high elevation forecast on the Environment Canada website before you leave. It'll give you the most current winter weather conditions so you can plan to take a safe route.
So this is a forecast that anyone can access and can make a decision. Is it safe to go, or do I need to wait a day or wait till the afternoon? And I think that used in that way, there's a great opportunity to save folks from harm, injury, or other.
The specialized bulletin is produced at least twice a day during winter months and is available at weatheroffice.gc.ca. And the City of Victoria is getting ready for winter. It hasn't snowed yet this season in the capital region, but if and when it does, the crews are going to be prepared. They have 6 salting trucks, 1 brine truck, and 2 trucks that have front-mounted plows ready to hit the streets. The city says it monitors the weather closely and pavement temperatures daily. And if extremely cold weather is in the forecast, crews will wet the streets with brine to prevent icy roads from accumulating, saving the salt for the heavier snowfalls.
It's the time of year where temperatures dip and you never know if we're going to get some rain or it's going to turn to snowfall. And so in preparation for that, we've got our trucks are all serviced, the plows are ready, the ice bin is full behind us, and our brine shed over there is full of liquid salt, and we're ready to hit the snow when it comes.
If it does snow, and it probably will at some point, you are required to shovel the sidewalk outside your home or business every day or face a penalty of up to $150. And it's a good idea to check that your emergency kit, if you have one, is up to date. And if you don't have one, get one. Well, if you sent your Christmas packages by courier today, you weren't the only one. You have a lot of company. Today is the busiest shipping day of the year for FedEx.
Here we go. All righty.
The courier expects it'll move 19 million packages worldwide today. That is its busiest shipping day of the year. And its busiest day ever. FedEx recommends that you ship by December 21st if you want to guarantee that your package gets to a Canadian destination before Christmas Eve. The company says the number of annual shipments is going up thanks to the increase in shopping online.
The figures that we received this year says that almost every consumer, at least 55%, will be making some sort of purchase online this year. And that's up year over year as well. So that is also driving what we're seeing.
And if you still send Christmas cards, and it's terrific if you do, Canada Post is counting on millions of Canadians to stamp their envelopes this week. It projects Thursday will be its busiest processing day, with December 21st the heaviest day for its deliveries. Canada Post says it'll deliver 1 billion cards, letters, and parcels in Canada this holiday season. To find out more on the mailing and delivery deadlines, go to canadapost.ca. Well, the dreidels were spinning and the traditional pastries and goodies were being served up as the City of Victoria marked this year's Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. Hanukkah is the universal message of increasing light, and today's annual lighting of the City Hall menorah helped to spread the message. The event marks the Jewish holiday, and the mayor says it's also a way to show appreciation for our cultural diversity.
You know, for the City of Victoria, there's so many different communities that make up our city that really adds to and makes it special. This is an opportunity for us in City Hall to recognize our Jewish community, all members of that faith, and recognize that part of their message is that celebration for all of us in the Christmas spirit.
Public menorah lightings are also being held in Duncan, NANAIMO, Courtenay, Campbell River, and on Salt Spring Island. Hanukkah began this past Saturday and will be celebrated for 8 nights until this coming Sunday. Well, police in Abbotsford have a Christmas card list that you might not want to find yourself on. Officers are sending Yuletide greetings to criminals who have long records with a message that asks whether they want to be on the naughty or nice list next year. The front of the card shows Santa dressed in police tactical gear, carrying a machine gun. Inside, the card says it's never too late to make a better choice. The card is signed by the Abbotsford Police Chief and 2 deputy constables. The cards are being sent to offenders who've been caught for property crimes and those who are known for drug and gang activity. Vancouver Island Liberal MLA Ron Cantillon says he will not be seeking re-election in the vote in May of next year. It's a change of heart for Cantillon, a reversal of what he said a few months ago. In August, he said he would seek a 3rd term. The Parksville-Qualicum MLA has changed his mind, saying that 2 terms is enough and he wants to make way for new candidates. Cantillon suffered a heart attack in 2011, but says his health is back and it is not the reason he is stepping out of politics. Since his recovery, he says he's had more time to reconsider his decision to run again.
I really realize I can do it, but just because I can doesn't mean it's the right thing for me. And I think I reflected and thought it all through and said, no, this isn't the right thing for you. And indeed, there are other people who can carry on. You're not indispensable, much as we might like to think we are. Other people can and will come forward.
Cantillon says he has had time to reflect. He says he's happy with his time as MLA. He plans to focus on projects in his community and spend more time with family. The local riding associations for the Liberal Party do not have a set deadline to nominate candidates. Well, as we saw in Stephen's report, the Northern Gateway Pipeline project promises to be a big issue in the upcoming provincial election. In Prince Rupert today, opponents addressed a hearing on the project saying the biggest risk to the environment is the chronic discharge of oil from ships. They say those discharges are more dangerous ongoing than our catastrophic spills. Enbridge says it agrees, and that's why it has called for increased surveillance and enforcement of laws against such inadvertent spillage. Well, NANAIMO has dug itself out of an unemployment hole and is now Canada's most employed city. StatsCan says employment across the country is up nearly 60,000 jobs thanks to an increase in full-time work. The unemployment rate dropped to just over 7%. NANAIMO's Employment Services Centre says the news is good, but people living in the harbour city shouldn't get too excited about it just yet. NANAIMO's numbers may reflect seasonal hiring.
This time of year we see the sales and service sectors doing well. So Christmas season, there's lots of jobs around at the malls and those sorts of things. Those might not reflect permanent jobs, and that's why I think in NANAIMO more so we do see the ups and downs.
Work BC says after a dreary jobs outlook earlier this year, many people in NANAIMO left to find employment elsewhere in other parts of BC or in Alberta. A Campbell River couple is facing criminal charges accused of stealing money that was meant for a school playground. Police say the money was raised for playground equipment at the Discovery Passage Elementary School through the Parents Advisory Committee. Jessica Lynn Taylor is the former chair of that PAC. She and her husband, Neil Taylor, are now charged with fraud and theft over $5,000. Investigators say the money went missing between December 1st of 2010 and January 31st this year. The couple is scheduled to appear in court January 14th. Operation Red Nose is in high gear in NANAIMO, offering safe rides home through this holiday season while raising money for Pacific Sport. It's a free service. One call gets you and your car a ride home. Organizers say the response in the Harbour City has been overwhelming. Good news for the community and for Pacific Sport.
This past weekend, we did about 120 rides. We delivered home over 250 people home safely, which was absolutely awesome. And the people we took home safely were very generous with their donations.
Operation Red Nose is becoming popular from coast to coast. Now 100 communities across Canada are on board. Paramedics in Campbell River put their ambulances to work today, not transporting patients though, but transporting food. Crews arrived this morning at the River Relief Truck, the volunteer effort that's underway to collect donations for the Campbell River Food Bank. Paramedics from the city's ambulance station gave their time to solicit donations from different organizations and rolled them all into the truck.
Well, you know, in our line of work, every day, we maybe more than the average person see people who are in need, right? We care for these people. I mean, we go into everybody's homes and we see people on a daily basis that are in need and are struggling with whatever, with illness or with addiction or with homelessness or, you know, or just putting food on the tables.
This is the first year the paramedics have joined the River Radio effort, and it's the fourth year that the relief truck has been on the road. The fundraising effort will continue till the truck is filled with food bank donations, and the River's Uncle Scotty will stay on board until that truck is full. And the NANAIMO Foundation received a boost today from realtors who gave up their holiday tradition of sending flowers to clients and instead used the money to support families and students in need. Realtors at RE/MAX of NANAIMO donated $3,000 on their clients' behalf to the NANAIMO Ladysmith Schools Foundation. This is the first Christmas that they've made a donation to the foundation, which works with schools and counselors directly to determine the needs of families.
But in talking to a lot of our counselors out there, we know the need has increased, which always worries us in the foundation, and we have a lot of teenagers living on their own or some single moms. So we know it's increased within the community. So we'd like to be able to do our part. So this is a huge donation for us.
Money raised for the Schools Foundation goes to food and clothing, household items, and gift cards for groceries. The foundation works in partnership with 5 schools in District 68 to support the lives of students and their families.